Oh yeah, she gave me a golden arrow last night.
Is it Heath Ledger? Walnuts, almonds, cashews and hazelnuts. I've got chai tea bags. Obviously, like I said, I've never tried to make this before, so I don't know what it's going to go like. But I wanted to do like a little Q&A. You just don't come across many like really friendly people. Sorry for the lighting, apologies. And hello, welcome back to another video. It is nearly 9 o'clock on a Sunday evening and I'm starting this video because Connor is desperate to try these. We picked these up today from Sainsbury's.
Was that today?
Yeah, it was this morning. Lipton raspberry iced tea.
I don't know whether I was supposed to shake it.
And Lipton mango. So if you haven't been keeping up with the videos, I've been, and you have actually, I've got you obsessed with it now.
You say you got me obsessed. I tried it when you had it and I liked it.
Lipton's peach iced tea. Yeah, but I keep getting it.
We literally tried it together.
Yeah, so we're going to try these ones. And really random time to start a vlog, but...
Shake it first. Well, you got raspberry.
Yeah. We should have been doing... I can't open it. Oh. Okay.
I like them both.
I really like them both.
I think I prefer this one.
I prefer the mango, obviously.
Really?
Yeah, I would. Are you drinking these then?
Yeah, might as well. We'll save the peach tea for tomorrow.
I don't think they're as nice as the peach though. Mango's close.
The peach just tastes so much like peach.
Yeah. I would still say the peach is my favourite out of the three. We've also tried the lemon one, but I really didn't like that.
Did you tell them we've got a light in the fridge for the first time in like 3 years?
Yeah, open up.
There you go.
We changed the
It's
bulb.
a light in the fridge.
The light went off literally like 2 years ago.
What the fuck?
Probably. And I replaced it today, finally. But we're going to go enjoy... I'm eating these. I'm going to take these to bed even though these stink. Is that alright?
Oh, I stink. I've got a bit of a stomach.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a stomach bug going around recently. Yeah. I had a funny tummy yesterday. Connor's got a funny tummy today. What snacks are you going to have?
Do you want to show them my progress?
Not really.
Okay. Wow.
Greatfinity!
Look at this. Oh, wow. Did you oil your bag? Hey, get out the biscuits.
So this is what Connor's been up to on making on his 3D printer.
Yeah,
We've got bag clips, we've got Gridfinity thingies and boxes to go on the Gridfinity thingy.
Although that one wasn't actually supposed to be there.
Alright. Yeah, okay. But it does look good and you're making more now, aren't you? What? 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 I've literally got nothing for you. I actually don't.
He's like, why not?
That's a bit loud.
Alright, calm down.
That's a bit loud.
Calm down.
Yeah,
Wind your neck in.
You're happy with your progress?
Yeah, so I'll go do.
Oh, do you want to see our Kinder... What are these called? Kinder.
They're like Kinder eggs, but they're not.
They're the Kinder, like, egg things that have the Funko Pop minis.
I am just in my boxes, by the way.
They look like shorts. We're collecting them, so we've been ticking off the ones we've got. Hermione's upstairs. I can't bother to get her.
Hermione?
We've got Harry.
Hermione?
We've got Ron. We've got...
Why did it sound weird you saying it?
We've got Hermione.
Hermione?
We've got Luna.
Why does it sound weird? Hermione?
And
this doesn't sound like a name anymore.
I really want to get the Golden Harry, but I might see if they're doing Monaco actually.
Golden Harry sounds like a name for, I don't know, like something, innit?
No, like what?
No, like Urban Dictionary thing.
Golden Harry?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she gave me a Golden Harry last night. It's like
a sex term?
Yeah.
No.
What is it though? What's a Golden Harry? It's when you get out and just stick up your bum.
Well, we need to go to bed. So, oh god, you're too weird. We've still got quite a few to get. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So maybe I'll order 8 and see if we get them. I'm going to add...
I hope I get a golden arrow.
He won't.
You don't even know what it is.
It doesn't sound appealing to me. But yeah, I wanted to share that with you in case anyone else is collecting them. Let us know which ones you've got. Do you want to trade? I've got 2 Hermione's.
Hermione?
You guys are so annoyed with us, by the way.
You got a trade, do you? Not one of them.
No.
You got one of these.
A couple of them actually.
Oh.
I don't know if I like these or not, but the more I eat them, the more they're alright.
Give me a kiss with quite a bit of tongue. She is French after all.
Who's practicing his golden arrow?
Golden arrow, yeah.
What a weird introduction to this vlog,
Yeah.
but I hope you enjoyed it. See you tomorrow. Well, in 2 minutes. Good morning, good morning. I don't know the rest of that song. It is a Monday morning. We've been up since 7:30. Connor actually got up this morning, which is very, very rare occurrence. And I'm about to make some breakfast. It's actually like 10 o'clock now. I think we're about to go film in about 20 minutes, so I want to eat before we do that. And I might make a cup of tea actually. What tea should I have? I feel like a herbal. I could just have normal breakfast tea, or do I have a Focus? Could be quite nice. My favourite are Glow and Calm Infusion at night time in autumn. I'm gonna have a Glow, I think. A Glow tea with my toast. I swear I literally have just I'm covered in matcha powder. Oh, for goodness sake. I swear these things only happen to me. I just put the tea bags back, that's all I did. And now I'm covered in matcha powder. I was being careful. Oh, it's staining the floor. Okay, that is actually like £10 worth of matcha gone. We're all cleared up now. I have my breakfast and my cup of tea. Glow Tea by Twinings. And I thought we'd catch up on movie talk. But the last thing I said about the films we were watching is not a fan of Superman. Tried to rewatch it, just it's not there for me, guys. I'm not a fan, sorry. And then kind of put on the Batman, the first Batman. It's called Batman Begins. I don't know, Christopher Nolan, I think. And I absolutely loved it. I said in that video, it was one of my favourite, I think it's actually one of my favourite superhero films I've watched. I loved it. And because I loved it so much, the next day we watched the next 2 in the trilogy. Oh, they didn't disappoint. They really didn't disappoint. Is it Heath Ledger as the Joker was unreal. The only like Joker I've seen is from what's it called? The Joker movie. As far as I know, was the Joker in the Robert Pattinson Batman? Because I watched that when it first came out and I can't really remember. I feel like that one was more detective-y. I can't remember. So we watched the next 2. So is it Batman, The Dark Knight Rises? Batman I don't know what they're called. I really don't know. I'll put them on screen, the ones I'm talking about, this trilogy. I was obsessed. Like when I tell you, I was glued. I found the Joker film. I don't know if I can rate them because I love them all. Heath Ledger as the Joker was absolutely phenomenal. Like I was scared, and he was creepy. He was just like everything you want the Joker to be. I feel like he was that. And I absolutely loved that. So the acting was like incredible and probably my favourite out of the 3. Obviously the Joker as the villain, incredible, probably my favourite out of the 3. But I loved the last one. I loved how it all came together, and I also loved the first one with, I just like how it was all full circle, you know. But the Joker one was fucking brilliant, like honestly so good. And I do feel like it's one of the best like trilogy things I've ever watched. I was glued to the screen, and like I said, I feel like I have watched these films like years ago, but I just wasn't interested in them, so I wasn't like actively paying attention to them. I was probably on my phone. I was glued to the screen. I didn't pick up my phone once. I literally watched the whole thing, and I would happily watch them all again. Like literally, I would probably watch them again today. And we only finished them, not yesterday, the day before, so we finished them on Saturday. And I'd watch them again now, and it's Monday. We then watched the Flash movie. I liked it. I got to say, it obviously wasn't as good as the Batman's, but it was cool. Like for what it was, I think it was like a good film. I don't think it was like incredible. I don't think it was amazing. I don't think it's one of the best films I've ever seen, but it was good. It was enjoyable. It was funny. It was easy to watch, like very easy to follow along. Yeah, it was like an average movie. I didn't mind it. I don't know what's next. We are going to go see the new Superman. I don't know when we're going to do that. It might be sometime this week, but unsure. And I kind of want to rewatch Suicide Squad. Connor really wants me to watch the Peacemaker series, I think it's called. He's already watched it and I have not. I'm not sold if I'm going to like it, to be honest, but I'll give it a try just because like he wants me to watch it. And I'm trying to think, I really love the Titans TV show that was on Netflix. I don't think that's like directly linked to any story from DC, but I really enjoyed that. I'm just trying to think of like what else we've watched, but I think that is it. The last thing we watched was The Flash, so I don't know if anything follows on directly after that. Let us know. But I'm enjoying like DC films. They're a lot, I don't know, more like adultified, I feel like, than DC, than Marvel. I feel like Marvel's very like kid friendly, whereas DC is definitely darker, especially the Joker Batman was so dark. And obviously the Joker's really dark. I did say to Connor, oh, should we rewatch the Joker? And then we both looked at each other like, no, we don't want to be depressed because that's such a heavy film. But I really, really want to rewatch the Robert Pattinson Batman, because I remember when we watched it, when it first came out, I was just as obsessed with that. So I need to rewatch it to familiarise myself with the story again, because I honestly can't really remember what happens. I also remember, and I don't know what it's called, when we was gardening, so it must have been about 4 years ago, I used to listen to this audiobook, which was a Batman audiobook, and it was free on Spotify. Like you didn't have to pay extra for it. And I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a Batman story. And it was incredible. It's kind of like, it's an audiobook, but it also wasn't. I feel like they were just like narrating a TV show, and I absolutely loved it, but I can't remember what that's called. I feel like that's my little movie catch up in the minute. I don't have a book catch up because obviously I feel like I didn't do that long ago. I'm reading, if I didn't do a book catch up, I'm reading Phantom, which is Gigi's story. So if you've read Haunting Adeline or Hunting Adeline, it's Gigi's story, who writes the journals that she finds in the house, so her great grandma. And I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I'm about 60%. I think I started it like 2 days ago and nearly finished, so I don't know what I'm going to read next. I'm kind of thinking I might read the Shadow and Bone series, because I've still never watched that on Netflix, and I've heard that the King of Scars, is it called King of Scars? Something of Scars books, that they're like the later books in that series are really good, which you can read before, you can read without reading Shadow and Bone, but a lot of people say Shadow and Bone gives you a lot of like the terminology, the background of the world and stuff, and I've got them in physical book form, and I love reading a physical book. I love my Kindle because at night it's so easy to like lay on your side and read a Kindle, and it's not so easy to read a book, and I can fall asleep reading my Kindle and know exactly where I left off, where I feel like a book is a lot harder to read, but it's more satisfying to read an actual book. So I might read Shadow and Bone, or I might finish, actually before Shadow and Bone I'm going to finish the Lauren Roberts series, the Reckless Powerless thing. I've got Reckless left to read, unless a new one's out already, but I'm going to read that. That's going to be my next read, because I've been putting it off for too long. I am cooking again. We're making tomato pasta. I'm thinking I'm just going to cook a lot of it, and then hopefully I can freeze some, but I'm really hungry, so I'm very hungry, so I don't know if I'll end up freezing it or not, but I'm just going to put my pasta on to boil with some salt. I'm very tired now. We've had a busy day actually. I feel like we've been quite productive. I finished my book, so that's productive enough. It's like the easiest tomato pasta you'll ever make. Just going to put some olive oil in the pan. Tomato puree, mascarpone. Realistically, use fresh garlic, but well, realistically, I mean, like if you want it to taste super fresh, I can't be bothered. Put in all of my tomatoes in the pan. I'm also, just because I have it, going to use a tin of chopped tomatoes because I want to make quite a lot of sauce. Vegetable stock. Mascarpone. I would love to put some like balsamic glaze in this as well, but I don't have any, so that's not going to happen. But I'm literally just going to throw everything in here. So I'm going to put the garlic granules on the tomatoes as they're roasting. No, as they're like splintering. And I'm also going to do some basil and oregano, and then go in with our chopped tomatoes. I'm going to add sugar to this as well. Probably, actually no, I'll add the mascarpone first, see what I think. I'm going to let this simmer because I want the tomatoes to like really soften. And I'm going to also add my, what's this called, stock cube as well, so that can like boil in there. And I'm literally going to let this simmer for like 10 to 15 minutes until I just want to make more sauce, so I'm actually going to do 2 stock cubes. And then, like I said, let that come to a boil. Once it boils, we're going to simmer it for a little, smash the tomatoes up, and then add mascarpone at the end. Yeah, I'll see you when it's nearly done. Okay, so pasta's getting there. What I'm going to do is give this a stir. This is looking good. I want it to thicken slightly now. The masher, and this way you've got to be careful, especially if I'm wearing white. I'm going to mash the tomatoes to release their juices. I might actually blend this so it's smooth, because Connor prefers a smoother sauce anyway. And then I'll add the mascarpone after. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat right down. I'm not worried about it being completely smooth, but just a little bit, you know? More tomato puree. And then, we're going to thicken this sauce up. Let's get my mascarpone. I'm going to go over some onion granules. Bit more garlic, and then some black pepper. I am going to do the whole thing. Stir that in, and then I'm going to once more bring it to like a boil. Let it simmer for like 5 minutes just so it gets a little bit thicker. And that is your tomato mascarpone pasta sauce, and hopefully it's going to store really well. And then you can just store this in your freezer or in your fridge for like 3 to 5 days, I'd say. But if you freeze it, then you literally, all you have to do is cook the pasta, the sauce over the pasta. This is still heated, so just thicken it up so you can actually see. So this is the massive tub of sauce, and then this is it added to the pasta. And then I'm just going to add a bit more basil to this, I think, and some salt to taste, but then I can do that every time I dish it up, so it's just easier. I am in such a good mood this morning. Such a good mood this morning, and that is because we went for a walk this morning and it felt like autumn. It just did. It just felt like autumn. I can't explain it. It just made me really happy. And the food shop's been, I came home, I deep cleaned the whole house. is spotless in this house at the moment. It won't last long, but the fact that I did it was, you know, like good enough. And now I am in the baking mood. So you're gonna have to excuse the shit lighting. Okay, like I was saying, it feels autumnal and it's been a while since I've made my homemade granola. And I want to make a cake. I don't know if I'm going to make that today or tomorrow, but I feel like this vlog is just going to be me baking. This is going to be a kitchen vlog, so I hope that's okay. This recipe is not a stranger on this channel. Oh wow, look at that angle. What is that angle? If it works. This also, excuse the washing machine. Yeah, this is not a stranger on this channel. If you've been an OG, you'll know I used to make granola every single couple of weeks for Connor for his lunch, and then he stopped going to work, so I stopped making it. But I don't weigh anything out, so you're just going to have to bear with me. It's kind of just a throw it in the bowl situation, and I mean, it turns out fine anyway. Like you don't have to be too specific. So jumbo oats, I want to make quite a lot because it lasts really well. So I mean, that is quite a lot. So jumbo oats, and then whatever nuts you want. I'm gonna go in with the mixed nuts, which has, what has this got in it? Walnuts, almonds, cashews and hazelnuts, and this is 200 grams, but I'm going to add in some extras as well. So, bag of nuts. I've also got some pecans here, we're going to throw those in. Then you want to add your spices. I'm going to go in with some salt to start with. It's a little crack. Cinnamon. And a lot of it. We like cinnamon. Give this a mix, all the dry ingredients, because you want to make sure you've got enough like stuff. It smells like autumn. I can't get over it. It doesn't feel like autumn now because it's bloody boiling, but I'm just pretending it's a sunny, cold autumn day, because when we took the dog for a walk this morning, it really just felt like autumn. It was so sunny, the skies were clear blue, but it was cold. Lovely. Okay, anyway, let's move on before I lose myself. Maple syrup, honey, agave, whatever you want. Just shove that in there. Obviously, the more you add of the liquidy stuff, the more it will bind together and make proper like granola-y chunks. Sorry, just breaking up some of these nuts as well. But if you're not worried about it being like clusters, that's the word, clusters, then don't worry about that. I do have coconut in the freezer, but I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard to break up, so I'm just not gonna add it. Sometimes I used to add like dark chocolate to this as well. That was really good. You want it to all be coated, otherwise you're gonna have like sweet bits and not sweet bits. And no one wants that in a granola. And then we're gonna go in with an oil. So I've just been melting some coconut oil. You can add coconut oil, you can add olive oil. They're the two that I would suggest. I'm just gonna drizzle it on, hope for the best. I literally just melted this in the in hot water because it was solid. The coconut oil I think is good because then it like solidifies when it hardens. No, that's the same thing. It solidifies when it's cooler, so if you do want more clustery granola, it's a good one to add. And then we're going to get a baking tray. Then just want to spread it out. And push it down as well. Give it a nice push. I like to move some of the nuts as well just to make sure they're evenly distributed. And then we're going to put this in the oven for 10 minutes to start with. We're going to mix it and then we're going to press it back down and put it in for another 10 minutes. Okay, the timer is about to go off. So I'm just going to give it a mix. So, there we go. Nice little mix. Press it back down again, quite firm. Alexa, set timer for 10 minutes. Okay. I don't know if you can see actually. Let me just. This is what it's looking like after 20 minutes, and I'm going to take mine out now and just let it cool down completely, and then I'll come back and put it in there. So what I am going to do is just sprinkle some raisins on it now, just while it's still warm. Not just a few, not too many. And then once I put it in there, it will kind of all mix together. Okay, it's a lot later now, so I'm going to mix this up, pop it in my cute little jar, and then we have granola. So I'm going to give it a taste test as well. And now that is ready to add on to yogurt, to smoothie bowls, to anything. Moving on to some more autumnal stuff. I've got chai tea bags and I thought we could try it together. I'm going to brew it. It says brew for 2 to 4 minutes with freshly boiled water for longer if you make it strong. If you like it stronger, enjoy hot or cold on its own or with milk for a classic chai latte. I think I'll try it without, but I probably would have it with milk because I love a chai latte. So I'm going to make this and then we're going to come back and give it a taste review once it's cooled down. Okay, sorry, the washing machine's going feral. It's brewed for 4 minutes. I'm going to try it and then see if I want to add milk or not. And like sugar as well. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. To give it that like chai latte effect, I am going to add milk and a little bit of honey. I'm definitely aware that I think this whole vlog has been in the kitchen. In fact, I'm literally positive I've only filmed in the kitchen for this vlog. So I'm very sorry about that. I'm going to try and switch it up maybe later today, just to give you a change of scenery. But I am about to make dinner. We're going to have Katsu chicken curry, a dish that I love so very much. Like, definitely one of my favourite meals. Is it Japanese? I should know that if it's one of my favourite. Anyway, I've never made it before. I've never made it in my life. So I'm going to try and make it together. I am just going to time lapse it for the sake of time. Obviously, like I said, I've never tried to make this before, so I don't know what it's going to go like. But we're going to have it with rice. I've cheated and got these Katsu chicken curry tenders. Yeah, and then that's going to be dinner. So I guess let's get cooking. I thought I'd voice this over as I haven't really explained how I made the sauce, and I know some people would be interested. So what I did was 1 brown onion. I just chopped this up nice and fine, as well as 2 small carrots and 1 clove of garlic. I put some sunflower oil in a pan, quite a bit to be honest, and I just waited for those all to soften and get nice and brown before adding some spices. So I first went in with ginger. If you have fresh ginger, so much better, but I didn't have any, so I just used ground ginger and stirred that through and waited until I could smell like the ginger coming through. I did 300 milliliters of chicken stock, but you can use vegetable, and 1 tablespoon of flour, and this is going to help thicken up the sauce. I add it now because you're going to add in your liquid soon. I then did 1 teaspoon of turmeric and 2 teaspoons of mild curry powder. stirred this through, and all of the stuff at the bottom comes off when you start adding your stock, which is what you want to try and get as much of that off as possible, because that's got all the flavour in it. I then added 100 mils of coconut milk and added that straight in with some salt and some sugar to taste, just as much as you want. And then I blended it until it was all soft, and that was it. I've had to take the hoodie off because I'm literally sweating, dripping in sweat. So we're gonna try to do the rice thing, you know, that they do in Wagamama's. I don't think it's gonna go well. The sauce, it was actually really easy to make. The sauce is a little bit like, it's not as smooth as it could be basically, but I don't mind that because I put carrot in it, and I don't think carrot is in the original recipe, but I just thought it would taste nicer. Get it nice and packed in. I don't even know if it's going to come out. That was so satisfying. See, normally if you're going to make this all from scratch, you would just breadcrumb this in panko breadcrumbs, but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have the energy for that. Okay, normally in Wagamama's you would have this with salad, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't do salad. Okay, chicken all around the side. This is how the sauce turned out. I have taste tested the sauce and it's really nice. It obviously doesn't taste like a Wagamama's, let's be honest. Let's be real here. However, for a fakeaway, like a do-it-yourself job, it's very bloody good. That is my Katsu chicken curry fakeaway. Okay, happy Wednesday everyone, vlog release day, but I wanted to do like a little Q&A because I was aware whilst editing this that my whole vlog has literally been about food and me in the kitchen, so I thought we could do a little Q&A. I'm going to get ready, we're going to see my mum and dad this afternoon. I thought we can get ready together whilst answering some of your questions. It's only going to be like a little mini one. I'm just going to rattle through these as quickly as possible and answer as many as I can. So, first one, besides being a full-time YouTuber, what are your hobbies? I have a lot of hobbies. Does walking count as a hobby? I feel like it does. Is it? I enjoy it, so does that mean it's a hobby? I love walking. Reading is like probably the biggest hobby outside of YouTube that I have. I literally spend every spare moment reading or looking for new books to read or watching movies. I absolutely love movies. Lego, I absolutely love Lego. I wish I could afford to buy so much more Lego, especially the Harry Potter ones. If Harry Potter in a category is a hobby, then I'd say Harry Potter. Like anything to do with Harry Potter, watching Harry Potter films, rereading Harry Potter books, doing Harry Potter Lego, colouring in. Love colouring in. I've been doing that a lot recently on my iPad, which I've been enjoying. I feel like my hobbies come back like in different times of the year. So like obviously throughout summer, spring and summer, golf has been a really big hobby that we've both been enjoying recently. To sum it up quickly, reading, golf, Lego, anything to do with Harry Potter, colouring, cooking. I love cooking, baking. I feel like I have a lot of hobbies, you know. Gaming, I love gaming. I used to love playing Call of Duty. When we had our PlayStation, we actually sold it because we ended up never using it, but I would get it on my laptop again. And obviously like Minecraft and stuff, so definitely gaming. I'd say that's it. If I can think of any more, I'll let you know, but I think that is so far all my hobbies. What is your favourite music reaction video you've made? This question's in like a few parts, so I'm going to do this one first. My favourite music reaction we've made. Oh, there's so many good ones. My favourite reactions are always the ones where Connor and I just have the most fun and can laugh, which people in the comments seem to get very annoyed about, especially if it's like a serious song and we're laughing. But generally we're not laughing at the song, we're just laughing at something funny that's happened in the reaction. But off the top of my head, some of my favourites, there's been so many good ones. All the ones that cause me shock factors. Do you know what I mean? The shocking ones are the best. Like, I feel like one of our first Ginger ones was really good because I wasn't expecting the vocals. Ones that I just don't see coming. Oh, Bring Me the Horizon at the Royal Albert Hall. That was one of my favourites. That was just insane. I was so surprised that I enjoyed that. Linkin Park One More Light, I just feel like will be in my heart forever, as well as Eminem Temporary. Oh, there's so many. I just feel like the ones that I'm laughing in are always my favourite ones. What has surprised you about being a YouTuber? Oh, how hard it actually is. It's really not easy, and I think like YouTube or like social media in general is given such a rep for like being a piss easy job, and you know, like it's not really a job, whatever. It is difficult. Like, I'm not saying it's the most impossible job ever, it's definitely not, but it's hard sometimes to switch off. I mentioned this in another vlog recently. It's really hard to switch off. It's because you're constantly doing something to do with work. So that's definitely surprised me. I would say how quickly your day goes, because you're at home all the time. I just feel like the day runs away with you. Honestly, the day goes so quick, and I feel like I blink and it's the next day. So that's definitely one thing. And I don't know, the amount of just supportive people there are in the community has definitely surprised me. I thought we'd probably get like a lot more nasty comments than we do, and we get our fair share, but it's not as much as I was expecting. So that's definitely surprised me. If you weren't in social media, what would be a job you think you'd enjoy and be good at? I actually have no idea. I feel like something in marketing maybe. I really enjoyed marketing. I did it in college, so when I was like 18, and I really enjoyed that. So I feel like marketing would be cool. Obviously that's still in social media, I suppose, but like I think it would probably be to do with something like that. Or I'd love to, like I would have loved to work on movie or film sets or something like that. That's like so far-fetched, but I'm just trying to like, I'm already doing my dream job, so if I'm thinking like completely out there, I think something like that, or work in marketing for F1 and just follow people around, do you know? I think that would be insane. When I see people doing that as a job, I'm like, wow, incredible. So something to do with like F1 would have been like incredible as well. How did you learn the rules for reacting to music videos / songs? This is another question that's in like a few parts, so I'm going to answer that first. Honestly, trial and error. When we first uploaded our very first reaction, it was copyrighted obviously, and we panicked and we was like, oh no, we are literally going to get sued or something, because we didn't really know the rules of copyright. We soon researched it, and as long as you don't get copyright strikes, you're absolutely fine to upload copyrighted content. We've touched on it so many times, but we don't dispute any copyright, so we don't like claim that we should get the profits from that video. And it is literally, learning the rules is trial and error and just researching, and I think for us that was what it was. We just tried it. We panicked when we got our first copyright video, and then tried to get the videos uncopyrighted by editing and cutting them down, and then we just hated that format, so we went back to just uploading them without pausing the songs and cutting them up, and realised that was absolutely fine as long as you don't like continue to dispute it and don't get a copyright strike. So that's one of the rules. Obviously,
Hugo wanted to answer some questions. What's your next question?
how did you learn the rules of reacting to music videos / songs?
The rules?
Yeah.
What's the rules?
Well, I'm guessing they mean like copyright and stuff.
Oh, trial and error.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Best way to learn anything, isn't it? Come pigs.
Growling at himself. He's like, who's that weirdo with a donut round?
Lizzie's in there then. Do you want a snack?
You want a drink?
I've left the bag there. Oh,
there you go, he's coming with you. Yeah, so basically it's trial and error. And also you can just research things like, I know ChatGPT gets a very bad rep, but honestly it's really good to use when you're trying to learn stuff, and also just gain a bit of knowledge, but you do need to fact check it sometimes because it's not always correct. The second part of the question is, how did you learn to edit, do thumbnails, and what software do you use? So learning to edit is, again, trial and error. You just have to see what works for you, what you enjoy, and find, honestly, if you don't enjoy it, then the quickest way to do it, I edit all of double take videos, and obviously I edit all these vlogs, and it has just been trial and error. Like, the format of the videos have changed so much since a year ago when we started, and that's just because I found ways that I enjoy editing them more. So I feel like you're always going to improve. You're going to start off basic anyway. I feel like if you really want to get good at editing, you can look at your favorite like creators and see like what cuts they make and what transitions they do and what effects they put on their videos and stuff like that, and you can kind of start to implement that on your videos. But in terms of our reaction videos, very simple. I just keep it basic because people are there just to watch the reaction. I mean, obviously editing is brilliant, but I don't have the time or the willpower to make it edited into this like grandiose thing. So basic for me is better. And I just think it just comes across a lot more realistic when you don't edit too much. So yeah, trial and error, practicing, and you can just take hints from like your favorite creators as well. Thumbnails, again, the same thing. Our thumbnails have changed so much since starting. I would say as well, like with thumbnail, all stuff like that, obviously you want your videos to perform well if it's your income, if it's your job. But when you look too much into stuff like the click rate and how well one video is performing compared to the other, it gets very toxic and it can be very like disheartening. So I try and just keep all of our thumbnails the same. Again, they've changed so much. I think it is just trial and error of what you want to do, and if you don't care too much about them looking perfect, I mean, you need a good looking thumbnail to attract people onto your channel, right? But I feel like you can take inspo from like your favorite creators and kind of make it your own that way. I mean, when I was starting out doing reaction thumbnails, I had no idea. I looked at a few people's reaction channels, and one thing I found which I didn't like was that the screenshots of their faces were the same screenshots in a lot of videos. And I just feel like if you're coming for that video and then you don't even pull that face in the reaction, it's a bit like misleading, and I don't like that. So I make sure to take what I liked and didn't like from other thumbnails, if that makes sense. So for us, every single facial expression on our thumbnail is from that video, and I've never ever like copied a facial expression. Some of them are obviously very similar because we have the same face, but yeah, that's one thing I didn't like from other thumbnails, so I made sure to not do that for us. And I think it is just like picking out things you like. As long as you're happy with the thumbnail, that's all that really matters, and as long as it does get you clicks and it comes across of what the video is about, then that's it. I would say, so we use Canva for our thumbnails, and I would say that the best way to do thumbnails is kind of just like create loads and decide which one's your favourite. And which one to you, if you was a viewer, what would make you click that video. That's my tip on that. And again, Canva is brilliant for that. For editing, we use CapCut, and I don't know if I'd recommend it. It's good, but it crashes a lot and it is a little bit like slow sometimes, but it gets the job done. And because I'm not doing like massive editing, I feel like it's fine. What was your occupation before becoming a YouTuber? Whatever the job was, do you miss it? So I used to work for my dad as a like secretary. I think what did he used to call me? I didn't actually have like an official job title. I don't know. He never used to call me secretary. Basically what I used to do is do all the finances. So I'd take invoices, I'd match them up to delivery notes, and then I'd put them on the software. I would then pay suppliers. I would do the wages and all of the like legal stuff, pensions and stuff for employees. What else would I do? Bank statements, checking bank statements, anything to do with finance is what I did, which is funny because I'm shit at finance, but I knew what I knew, you know? So kind of finance stuff. That's what I used to do. And do I miss it? Not really. I miss like working for my dad because I used to see him a lot more, but I don't miss the job. I can't lie, I don't miss the job. It was like very easy, very like non-stressful, I guess, but at the same time it's not what I wanted to do. So yeah, I don't miss it, but I don't miss my dad because I see him all the time, but I used to see him a lot more. This is like a deep one, I feel. Is having kids worth it in 2025, considering the financial cost of raising a child? I feel like I could talk about this for ages. Short answer, absolutely. If you want children, I don't think that there's ever going to be enough money or enough time or enough, I don't know, financial freedom to not have a child, if that makes sense. I don't know if I've worded that right. I'm really bad at wording things, but if you want to raise children, you want your own children, I absolutely think it's worth it in any time. I mean, my mum has 4 kids, and when she had Dean, who's my oldest brother, her firstborn, she had no money. They were skint. They were both working. My dad was working long hours. My mum was working long hours. And they made do, you know what I mean? And then it was the same for all my brothers after that. I obviously know finance and stuff is a big problem now, like a massive problem. But at the same time, people are always going to struggle financially. Like, it doesn't matter what year we're in. People are always going to struggle financially. And it's not fair. And I wish that isn't the way the world is. And I don't think something like that should stop you from having a child. Like, for me, I've always wanted to be a mum. I've spoken about this so many times, but I've always wanted to be a mum. I've always thought that was like life goals, you know, and I still do. But even if I was like I know people, like I know so many people in my life who've had children and not been financially capable, or what would appear to society to be to be financially capable of like raising that child, and like they're the best parents. Their children wouldn't kind of know any different, especially at a young age. And I think if you want kids, that shouldn't be something to stop you. Finance is going to be something that stops people doing a lot of things, but at the end of the day, I think having children is more than just being able to afford to have children. Most mothers or most parents will tell you, and they have definitely said this to me, this is coming from people I've spoken to who have had kids, you're never going to have enough money, no matter what your wage. And kids are like financially very stressful, but kids are very basic. Babies are very basic. They need food, they need a place to sleep, and they need clothes, and that is it. And love, and obviously love. So I do think it, I honestly do. I know it's very probably controversial thing to talk about, but from my opinion, like Connor and I has struggled with money before, like very bad, been heavily in debt. And even in those moments, if I'd fallen pregnant, I would have made it work, because that to me is more important. I don't know. I don't want to come across like I'm being like insensitive, because of course financial cost of raising a child is a lot. But at the same time, I know people who have done it, who have literally been really struggling with money, and they've raised beautiful children and they've not regretted it one bit. So I think that's my opinion. I could honestly talk about that for ages, because I'm very passionate about like having kids, but I also think it's okay to not want children. Like we should accept the fact that some people don't want children, and that's absolutely fine as well. But yeah, for me personally, as someone who does want children in the future, absolutely nothing I don't think would stop me. How is YouTube life for you, and is it harder or easier than a regular job? Okay, YouTube Live is absolutely brilliant, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's fun, it's creative. I feel like creativity wise, it's endless opportunity. There's so many things like we want to do in the future, and we can't wait to like start talking to you guys about. It's brilliant. Is it harder or easier than a regular job? Right, I'm probably going to annoy a few people here, but I'm going to be honest. It is not harder than a regular job. Obviously, getting up when you want, filming videos, editing them, uploading them, and making money that way is not harder than having to get up for a 9 to 5 every single day, maybe in a job that you don't like or have a lot of stress. However, it's not as easy as people think. I think people who do have like regular jobs have this perception on social media and YouTubers saying that it's like we don't have the right to complain because we have the easiest job in the world and blah 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 blah. It's not easy. It's not easy. Every single day you are putting yourself out there to very mean, hurtful comments. Every single day you're stressing about, are you going to make enough money to pay the bills this month? You never switch off from this job. Like, I say it a lot, and it's very, very consuming in the fact that it's not just filming a video and uploading it and that's it. It's filming a video, it's editing a video, it's making sure you have all the software that's actually working to film that video, it's replying to comments, it's thinking of new video ideas. It's like a constant thing. I find when I've had regular jobs, and I've had plenty, YouTube is more stressful in the fact that I can't switch off from it. It's 24/7, and I feel like that's the same for anyone who like owns their own business. You're constantly thinking about it. Your work brain does not switch off. Whereas I feel like if you work for someone else and you have like a 9 to 5, you come home at 5, you can just not think about work. You have the weekend, you don't have to think about work. So in terms of like, is it easier or harder? It's definitely easier as a whole, but there's parts of it that I do think are harder, if that makes sense. And that would be never being able to switch off hate comments and stuff like that. If your video doesn't perform well and you don't get paid, like, you're screwed. So there's definitely other stressful factors to it, but overall, no, it is not harder than a regular job. A regular job, I would say, is obviously harder. It depends if you love your job. If you love your job, then like, no, but if you don't love your job, then yes. What does yours and Connor's family think of you guys blowing up on YouTube? The fact you have fans must trip your mum and dad out. So when we got recognised in our local town for the first time, it's only happened once and it was the first time. So my mum was actually with us, and like, we were all gobsmacked. Like, I wish you could have seen our face when the guy recognised us, because we was just like, do we know you? Like, we were so confused. And we walked away and my mum was like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe that's just happened, and neither could we. That everyone's like supportive. It's one of those things, like, it's cool, but we don't really talk about work to our parents. Like, when we see our parents, the first thing we talk about is like what they've been up to, and, you know, like other things other than work. So of course they think it's really cool. I don't think they really understand it, but neither do we, so it's fine. And yeah, obviously they're supportive. They think it's really cool and blown away that people are supporting us the way they do, because it surprises us too. Like, we are also blown away by it. But I will say that they are proud. They're very proud. They're very supportive, but we don't talk about it a lot. It's just one of those things, like, I don't know, I suppose in some families you do talk about work and stuff, but I never really ask people like, oh, how's work? I don't know. I don't know why. Is that like a thing? Should I do that? But yeah, they definitely think it's cool. This was a similar question, so I'm going to ask this. What were your parents' initial reaction when you told them you were going to quit and do YouTube full-time, and how did you break the news to them? Did you all gather your friends and sit them down like an intervention? Did family and friends try to talk you out of it, or have they become supportive? Or have they been supportive, sorry. So obviously my mum and dad were the first ones to know, because Connor and I both work for my dad, so we had to hand in our notice. And I will say my dad wasn't surprised at all, but he was slightly concerned, and that is purely because obviously he's my dad. I'd only been working for my dad for a year. Con had been there for maybe 2 or 3 years. I can't remember off the top of my head. So I would say, because Connor worked for my dad, and obviously like our main income came from him, my dad was just worried that we would struggle financially, and that is the only really worry he had. We didn't all sit them down. We kind of like, I told my mum in a passing comment, and then obviously Connor and I both told my dad while we were in the office with him one day at work. Yeah, my dad knew it was coming, but at the same time he was slightly worried financially, not because of what the job was or anything, but definitely financially. It's also like, because we don't earn money from YouTube, we earn money from the song requests. It's very hard to get your head around, and for all of our parents, I think that's the thing. They were like, but like, why are you making money like that? How are you making money like that? And because we don't really understand it completely, it's hard to explain. So they were definitely concerned at the start when we first told them. My mum had absolutely no worries at all. She was like, yeah, this is what you need to do. You and Connor have worked hard, like 100%. You've always wanted to do this, go full time. Completely supportive. My dad was like, completely get it. Like, are you going to be okay financially? Would you like to, I don't know, go part time? Like, that was his only concern, not because he wasn't supportive, just because he was worried that like financially we'd struggle. Connor's parents both supportive. I mean, like, I think his mum was a little bit like, are you sure you're going to be okay, like financially as well? She had the same sort of thoughts as my dad, I think, but still, like, yeah, I don't think they really cared, to be honest. Like, they, as long as Connor and I were happy and doing what we wanted to do, they weren't worried, you know. So everyone was really supportive and no one's tried to talk us out of it or anything. So that was that. I think everyone was surprised more than anything because we'd obviously gone full time in less than a year. And that's quite rare. So I think everyone was just more shocked than like judgy or worried. Do you still like your headphones? Are they still comfortable and safe for the chairs? Absolutely. Headphones, 10 out of 10, would highly recommend them. They are literally the best headphones I think I've ever used in my life. Very comfortable because they go around your whole ear. They don't like rest on your ear and like squish them, which I don't like. So yes, definitely recommend them headphones. Chairs are comfy. Could they be comfier? Yes. Would I rather sit on a sofa? Yes. Do they do the job? Yes. Do they squeak? Yes. Do they need WD-40? Yes. What did Hugo have for breakfast? He had duck and chicken butternut box. That's what he has every day. Butternut box. Great dog food brand for dogs who have allergies. Highly recommend. What part of the UK are you guys from and how is it like, and how is it there? So we are from Essex and I will put a photo on the map here for you for where like we are. What is it like there? Right, let's be honest. Let's just get honest here. It's a shithole. There's obviously nice parts and there's not so nice parts. And if I'm being completely honest, do I want to live here for the rest of my life? Absolutely not. Essex is very money grubbing. In Essex, it's literally a competition of who has the bigger and better things. And people are very fake here. People are very just money orientated, to be honest with you. It's not far from London, so a lot of people who work in London, who obviously have like very high up jobs and a lot of money, will live in Essex, and I think that's where it comes from. I wouldn't want anyone to move here. I think it's just, yeah, I've never loved it. It's very, very materialistic here. And you just don't come across many like really friendly people. You know, if you go somewhere and everyone's like, morning, hello, good morning, and you're walking, you don't get that in Essex really, because everyone just cares about themselves. It's very, like, I would say it's a very selfish part of the UK. And this is just my opinion, by the way. I don't think this is like a general opinion, but this is my opinion. It's fine, it's okay, it does the job. We live in a nice area and we have a nice home and a roof over our heads, which is the main thing. But would I want to live here for the rest of my life? No. There are definitely nicer parts of the UK that I'd prefer to live in. Yeah, obviously, it's fine. The one thing I do like about living here is that there's literally everything you need on your doorstep. Like, there's so many shops, there's so many restaurants. You do have nice areas that are more nature-esque and like less built up, and they're the parts of Essex that I really like. But in general, it's not my favourite place in the UK. I heard you say you've always wanted to be a YouTuber/vlogger ever since you were a kid, and now that you're successful at it, you've heard the saying, if you love what you do, you never really go to work. So do you wake up all the time looking forward to the day ahead, or is it as cumbersome as a regular career, and do you burn out to the point of regret? Okay, I'm going to answer this in two ways. So I'm going to answer this in the perspective of my vlogging channel and then the perspective of double take and reactions. I'm going to start with double take. Double take does still feel like a job. It's not saying I don't like it. I absolutely love it. But double take is definitely a lot more mentally draining, a lot harder, and a lot more time consuming than vlogging is, obviously. Some days we do wake up, and the amount of content we put out there as well, it's not like, I don't know what other reaction channels do, but we put out like 5 videos minimum a day. Sometimes we can upload up to 10, which is crazy. Saying it out loud, sitting there and listening to songs and react to them doesn't sound hard. But when you've got massive lights shining down at you, you're tired because you haven't slept, and you know you have to give people a reaction, they've paid for it, you have to react in some sort of way. You can't just sit there and not be emotive and, you know, alert. It can be very draining. It can be very difficult. Obviously, listening to music isn't hard, but when you have to listen to music and then remember all the points you want to make after you've listened to it, and then know that you're going to upset people with what you've said, that is very hard. Editing double take videos can be a bit stressful, especially if they're blocked, but it's nothing like too hard. So in terms of double take, I do still think that feels like we're waking up and going to work, especially you're sitting in an office like doing it for however many hours a day that we do it. But I still love it. It's not that I don't love it, but some days are definitely harder than others. And in terms of the saying like, if you love what you do, you never really go to work. I love it, but it does still feel like we have work to do on going to work, if that makes sense. Vlogging, on the other hand, absolutely not. Like, I don't wake up and think, oh, I've got to vlog today, oh, I've got to do this, because vlogging is so free, it's so open, it's so easy. I can pick up the camera whenever I want, I can film what I'm doing, and I'm not going out my way to do something extra, I'm just filming what I'm already doing. So it's so easy, and I feel like you're just following along with my day-to-day life. So in terms of being a vlogger and vlogging, I agree with the statement. It does not feel like I've worked a day in my life, because it's so easy, it's so fluid. So absolutely not, it doesn't feel like I wake up and go to work for vlogging. And even though it does sort of feel like I do that with double take, I have always said that that side of our job and YouTube in general gives me more like stability and gives me more routine, because I think if we weren't doing that and we weren't doing reactions, I didn't wake up and have to like work, I would feel very unproductive and unmotivated every day. So the fact that we get up and we go in the office and we do work every single day, I like that routine. So it does feel like work, but at the end of the day, it's fun work. It's not like draining work, if that makes sense. And I really enjoy it. So yeah, it feels like work, but it doesn't at the same time, because it kind of feels like a hobby as well. Like, oh, we're just spending a couple of hours doing a hobby. Okay, I think this is the last question. Do you believe in things like Bigfoot, aliens, dogmen, etc.? If so, what? I do believe in aliens. I really do believe in aliens. I can't tell you why. I just feel like there's been things that have happened. I'm like, that's too weird. I also refuse to believe that we're the only species on a planet. Like, I don't, how? You know, the universe is massive, that there has to be other forms of life out there. I refuse to believe there isn't. To be honest, I don't research into it a lot. This is just like my initial thought of it. I just do think there's aliens. I do. And I'd love to meet an alien one day. I don't know why, I just think it'd be really cool. And I think in some form or another there is definitely life beyond what we can comprehend or we know, 100%. I don't know what dogmen is. Should I have a little Google? Oh, okay. I actually don't know. Like, I've never really thought about it. Things I do believe in: aliens, ghosts and spirits and stuff. I don't believe that like we live in a world that there's no spirits and stuff. Like, I've definitely had my fair share of freaky experiences. I don't know if I believe in the other stuff, because I've never really thought about it or like researched it enough to come to my own conclusion. I'm quite an open-minded person, so I don't take things as people say as facts. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like to make my own conclusions on stuff. So I'm sure if I researched it and like looked into it, I'd have more of an opinion on whether I believed it or not. But right now I would say no, but only because I don't know enough about it to have an opinion on whether I believe it or not. I do think there's like witches and stuff. I honestly do think there's like witches, and I don't know, I'm quite like an open-minded person, so I suppose if I researched it I definitely would. But that is all the questions I am going to answer for now, because this is 40 minutes long, so hopefully I can cut it down to make it a little bit more bearable. That is the end of the video as well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little Q&A section. If you want me to do like more Q&A bits in the vlogs, let me know, because I would definitely, I really enjoy sitting down and filming this for you. And it didn't take me that long either. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all of the usual things. And also, if you would like to become a member of the channel, I'd really appreciate it, but absolutely no pressure whatsoever. Having you here watching me is enough. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.
Got a couple people gotta leave behind. They just can't keep up no more. Nothing personal, it's just time. I'm still here trying to open doors. Big the mentality makes me sigh, especially